This is Comedy Up Late, live from the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. You are seeing 4 amazing acts tonight, and me. Sorry. Put up your hand if you had to move back in with mum and dad at the age of 32 years old, because you're creative. Okay, just me. Moving back home with mum and dad as an adult is very weird. You go up the driveway with your little suitcase like a big brother evictee. Mum and dad greet you at the door. Mum's wrapped because when her adult children move back in, it means she's got something to do again. And dad, well, my dad retired 15 years ago. Then his 32-year-old gay son moved back in. Dad got a part-time job at IGA that week. When you go back to your childhood home as an adult, it's very weird. You know, like the uglier the photo of you in high school, the bigger it is on the wall. The home phone is still blocked from calling mobile numbers from a reaction to a phone bill in 2008 by your dad. Who's been voting on all these Australian Idol numbers? Who's Cosima DeVito? How do you think I felt? She pulled out with throat nodules. Anyway, nothing really changes, especially mum and dad. Mums, God love you, you never change. You never change. You always come equipped with information that no one needs. You're obsessed with death. Is your mum obsessed with death? I get the death call from mum. Let me know if you get the death call from mum. So I'll be at like the supermarket just getting dinner, you know, grabbing Fruit Loops. And my mobile rings. I'm amazed that mum learned how to use her mobile because that's incredible. That was a 4-year commitment by me and my siblings trying to teach mum how to fucking use an iPhone. Mums are incapable of swiping. They'd be awful at Tinder. Anyway... Don't know if you know the rules, guys, but the older you get, the further away you have to hold your phone from your face to use it. So my mum's about there now, because she's in her 60s. When my mum answers her phone, she looks like an amateur youth theatre company doing a mime version of Shakespeare. So the death call comes from mum. Hello? Guess who's dead? Oh my God, mum. Oh, you'll never guess. Have a guess. Have a guess. This is an awful game, mum. Then she hangs up the phone and you call her back and she doesn't know how to answer it, so I never find out who was dead. Dads. Any dads here tonight? Make some noise, dads. Where are the dads at? Dads? Any dads? No. Dads don't get invited. Anywhere. Poor dads. Dad's called dad because it just sounds better than, hey, mum's bitch. Do you remember this one? Do you remember when your mum used to make your dad drop the whole family off at the front of a venue, then he had to fuck off and get his own car park? Then he'd never arrive and no one would ever ask questions because we didn't care, because it was just dad. Give me some money. The only time you ever heard from dad growing up was the same sentence, and it was 3 times a year, because he was mute every other time except for this sentence. I can't even shit in peace! I remember hearing that from the dark alley of a hallway in your house. Like, who was that guy? Oh yeah, dad lives here. I forgot about that. Give me some money. But it's true, he couldn't shit in peace, could he, the poor guy? Don't know why he was in there for so long. Why was dad in the toilet for so long every time? Technically, he should be the quickest. He's the only one that eats the All Bran. That is a joke about nutrition. Dad's on the toilet for so long. You know when you go over to a house at mum and dad's and you sit on the toilet seat and it's still warm and you're like, oh, dad's been here. And it's 50% gross, 50% really comfortable. Oh, which one is it? Which feeling is it? I'm gonna go with comfortable. I'm gonna be here a while. Dads are so dumb. Fuck, dads are dumb. Dads are just like... They never connect dots. Dads are just... Whenever mum said no, dad said yes. Always. Dad was always the yes guy, wasn't he? Okay, perfect example. Last week I needed help with my car. I needed to put the water in the thing to fix the windscreen. And so I called Dad for his help, and he goes, Nathan, what kind of 32-year-old man doesn't know how to change the water in his car? I'm like, Dad, when you came home from work early when I was 15 and you caught me doing a dance to Man, I Feel Like a Woman... What part of that scene made you think, I've got a fucking mechanic on my hands? I was wearing mum's dress, you dickhead.